Darkness.
Is it just me, or is 3 superheroes really excessive for this job?
Professor?
Deadpool 3 is on its way to the big screen on November 8th, 2024. As Marvel Studios prepares to introduce Deadpool to the MCU, many ask who would make an appearance. There are many MCU characters who might have fantastic Deadpool crossovers. Here are some MCU characters fans want to see alongside Wade Wilson in Deadpool 3.
Without it eroding your sense of self and your own specific talent and your own curiosity in the work.
Tom Hiddleston, one of the MCU's longest-running actors, is at the top of the list. He will appear in his 8th Marvel Studios film, in addition to his roles in Loki's first 2 seasons. It only seems right to consider what the God of Mischief could do alongside Wade Wilson. Loki would be pretty impressed after watching Deadpool discover how the TVA functions. Loki may make an appearance, especially with Miss Minutes by his side.
You stand trial for your crimes. So let's not waste another minute. Settle in, sharpen your pencils, and check this out.
And not only Loki, but Doctor Strange can make for a pretty great partner. Dr. Stephen Strange was last seen in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. He's the only person outside the TVA who knows more about the multiverse. After Wade's dive into alternate worlds, he becomes a master of the mystic arts. It's only fair that the man most familiar with different dimensions meets the newest visitor to Earth 616.
I always suspected this day would come.
You did?
Yes. Because you always suspected this day would come.
However, Doctor Strange and Deadpool's relationship isn't only for the screen. The two have a fascinating friendship in the comics as well. Deadpool has even helped Strange with some of his missions. However, things might be reversed in the film when Strange confronts Wade Wilson about his antics.
And you just cast your vote now to kill your friends. Not that that ever bothered you before.
Just like Strange did with Spider-Man in Spider-Man No Way Home. Not only that, but it would be fun to see Ryan and Benedict on the same set. Now, let's move on to some other characters fans want to see in Deadpool 3. Fans think She-Hulk and Deadpool could make a great team. The fact remains that Marvel's 2 main comic book characters would likely cross paths. We mean both have the ability to break the fourth wall and speak directly to readers or viewers. At the end of the day, they are 2 separate heroes. However, their personalities would likely make it easier for them to become allies. The 2 are the funniest characters in Marvel's lengthy history, particularly given their similar powers. Fans eagerly anticipate what a She-Hulk-Deadpool relationship in Deadpool 3 might look like. Jennifer Walters had the same self-aware charm and sophisticated approach as Wade Wilson, but Jennifer likes to keep it more in a Disney PG manner. She-Hulk and Deadpool are about to have an epic fan service fourth wall break exchange, and that will surely be entertaining for fans to watch. Next, let's talk about how epic a crossover between Captain Marvel and Deadpool is. Now, we all know only a few comic book characters are as annoying as Deadpool. That could be a combination of his insane mentality and assurance that he will not die. Fans would enjoy watching Deadpool clash with Captain Marvel, even though the solemn superhero would have no patience for the gun-wielding villain. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is the ideal setting for Deadpool. It would be easier for Captain Marvel and Deadpool to develop a friendship, or more likely, develop hatred towards each other. However, there is little going on in the comics. At the end of the day, it would be fun to see Captain Marvel and Deadpool share a screen. Following Captain Marvel, we have a rare character that could vibe with Wade Wilson. If you thought of a talking tree, then you would be correct. Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool losing his cool with an extraterrestrial tree would be comedy gold and amusing. With Ryan Reynolds' natural ability to improvise, it will be interesting to watch how they interact. What would he say in response to the incorrect translation of "I am Groot"? Groot's fate and those of the other Guardians are still up in the air, so there isn't a certainty that Groot will make it to the series, but fans have their fingers crossed. Next up is Nick Fury. Nick Fury has appeared in numerous MCU MCU films, including the original. Nick Fury hinted at the Avengers Initiative in the post-credit scene of 2008's Iron Man, given that Fury is an expert on everything in the MCU. If Fury learned about Deadpool, his pranks throughout the MCU won't likely surprise him. Deadpool would put Nick Fury's sense of seriousness to the test. However, Samuel L. Jackson and Ryan Reynolds would give their characters extra chemistry. The Hitman's Bodyguard is an excellent example of the two's fantastic connection. Another highly anticipated character would be the Punisher. This duo would be similar to how Wolverine would face off against Deadpool. John Bernthal's Punisher would be displayed as a wrath-facing battle against the obnoxious villain. In 3 seasons of Netflix appearances, Bernthal perfectly captured the hair-trigger mentality of the Punisher. He doesn't intend to take any casualties throughout his quest. Although it may seem like a cop-out, pairing Deadpool with the Punisher will always be a good idea, since Wade Wilson is a character unlike any other. Every contact he would have would be funny. The ideal solution following Deadpool 3 would be a new Avengers lineup. The lineup would consist of MCU veterans and newcomers for Deadpool to trouble in a single film. One other iconic character fans want to see is Mr. Peter Parker. It would be a crime not to include Spider-Man. He and Deadpool made one of the best duos in MCU history. Wade Wilson has never hidden that he loves Spider-Man more than any other character. One can only wonder how Spider-Man and Deadpool would work together. The most obvious obstacle to this appearance is that Sony Pictures still holds Spidey's rights. Even with Spider-Man 4 in development, there's yet to be an idea if Peter Parker could appear. But if this appearance in Deadpool 3 were to happen, it would make Marvel history, where sure fans would line up for miles to see the two try not to fight each other to the death. Remember Clea from Doctor Strange 2? In the mid-credit scene, Doctor Strange reunited with his longtime comedic love interest, Clea, before embarking on their first journey together. Simply put, Charlize Theron might be on her way to her first encounter with Ryan Reynolds. Fans would love to see this duo together on set, and given that the multiverse saga's primary theme is attacks, Clea might have her eyes set on Deadpool. We all know Deadpool is at his comedic prime when he meets his polar opposite, and fans seem to agree with that. We received many of these moments when Deadpool confronted Colossus in Deadpool and Deadpool 2. Peter Rasputin was shown in the movies as the ideal good guy. He was even going so far as studying the Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters rulebook. It would be a brilliant MCU move to bring back the kind Russian character, but because Steve Rogers, another Boy Scout, has retired, that might not seem possible. However, Charlie Cox's Daredevil is the ideal option. In many ways, Daredevil resembles Marvel Comics' Batman. He's a vigilante who patrols rooftops, guided by rigorous values and laws. At the very least, he wants to be perceived as the good rather than the bad guy. He doesn't kill, and everything is under control. On the other hand, we have Deadpool, a chaotic villain. He goes around taking pleasure in randomly killing people. Deadpool is at the edge of becoming a complete monster, but he's not quite there yet. While Deadpool only has a bit of morality, Daredevil seems to have much more. Imagine how far a crossover between these two could go, and fans are totally here for it. At this point, Deadpool 3 is highly anticipated, and the plot brings great enthusiasm to fans. But which Marvel crossover are you looking forward to the most in Deadpool 3? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.